Let me ask you something. Have you ever worked with a leader who was highly respected, so much so that people rarely challenged them? Now, at first glance, that sounds like a compliment. You think, well, of course, people respect them. But over time, I've realized something important. Respect and hesitation can look very similar in a meeting. Now, let me explain. When someone has strong experience, a strong track record, and a strong point of view, people naturally listen. And that's a good thing. But something subtle can also start happening. People begin to second guess themselves. They think he's probably thought this through already, or she has much more experience than I do. So instead of voicing their concern, they stay quiet. Now, let me give you another example. You're reviewing a plan with your team. One of the team members sees a risk in the timeline. Now, they're not fully convinced the team can deliver that quickly, but they also know you've already spoken confidently about it. So they pause. They think, maybe I'm overthinking this, maybe he already knows something I don't. And the meeting moves on. 2 weeks later, the same risk shows up during execution. Suddenly, the timeline slips, and that same person quietly says, I did have a concern about this earlier. That's the moment leaders often miss, because from your perspective, the room looked respectful, but from their perspective, it felt difficult to challenge. This is why experienced leaders learn to do something intentional. They don't just invite input, they create space for disagreement. They pause longer, they ask someone specific for a different view. Sometimes they even say, I might be wrong here, what do you see differently? That small signal changes the room, because leadership, especially when things aren't clear, is not just about being respected, it's about making sure respect doesn't turn into hesitation. Because when hesitation replaces honest conversation, leaders don't lose authority, they lose visibility. And when that happens, the first place you see the truth is not in meetings, it's in results. Thank you.